10 fun facts you might not have known about Graceland. 1. It is America's second most visited home. Graceland continues to attract visitors, with no signs of slowing down. The estate receives more than 650,000 visitors every year, ranking it second only to the White House as the most visited house in the country. 2. The upstairs is off limits. Presley's master chamber on Graceland's second floor was his most secluded hideaway, with only his closest confidants permitted inside. On August 16, 1977, Presley's corpse was discovered in his bathtub. The second story was kept up after the property was opened to the public in 1982, out of respect for the family and also to avoid any ghoulish attention at the site of his death. The upstairs of Graceland has taken on a mythological atmosphere over the years, with stories claiming his apartment remains intact, exactly as the king left it. Except for former wife Priscilla, daughter Lisa Marie, and the Graceland curator, no verified quality images have ever been released, and no one is permitted in. Presidents and foreign dignitaries have all been turned away, but one celebrity, actor and acknowledged Elvis Presley enthusiast Nicolas Cage, has made it inside during his marriage to Lisa Marie in the early 2000s. 3. After thieves attempted to steal his body, it was moved to Graceland. The meditation garden, a quiet plot of plants and fountains walled off by white columns and a pergola that Presley had constructed in 1964, was one of the numerous changes he had made to Graceland over the years. It was where he preferred to sit and ponder in life, and it now serves as his ultimate resting place, albeit that wasn't initially planned. Presley was laid to rest in Memphis Forest Hill Cemetery on August 18, 2 days after his death, close to his late mother, Gladys. However, it appears that an attempt was made to kidnap his 900-pound steel-lined, copper-plated casket and keep the remains for ransom. 3 guys were apprehended, but the plot was so feeble that they could simply be charged with trespassing in the cemetery. Fearing duplicate crimes, Presley's and Gladys' bodies were returned to Graceland. Today, they are joined by Vernon, the singer's father, and a memorial to Jesse, the singer's stillborn twin brother. 4. He made the Jungle Room a recording studio. Presley created an enclosed room off the home's kitchen in the mid-1960s, which he eventually filled with tiki furniture and plants. The flagstone waterfall added to the tropical ambience, prompting many admirers to call it the Jungle Room, though Presley never used the term. RCA sent a mobile recording device to Graceland in February 1976, converting the big area into a temporary recording studio. The shag carpeting acted as natural sound absorbers. From Elvis Presley Boulevard in Memphis, Tennessee, the songs would be released. That October, another session would be held, which would be the last until his death less than a year later. 4 songs from these shows were released on the posthumous CD Moody Blue. 5. The Boss pays a visit to the King. During Presley's time, Graceland had more than its fair share of visitors, but one came unexpectedly in 1976. On the verge of global superstardom, a teenage Bruce Springsteen drove a cab to the estate's gates late one April night with his E Street Band guitarist, Steven Van Zandt. Despite the late hour, they observed lights on in the main house and jumped the gate in the hopes of greeting the king. Unfortunately, security agents stopped the couple before they could get to the door. It was just as well, because Presley was at the time in Lake Tahoe. Presley got the idea for his downstairs media room after hearing that President Lyndon Johnson had 3 television sets to watch all 3 main network news programs at the same time. Unless Robert Goulet was on, he spent a lot of time happily watching TV. Presley despised the musically minded actor for reasons best known to him. "That jerk has no heart," he was heard exclaiming. "That's all there is to it." 7. A king-sized game room. Presley's subterranean gaming area was inspired by a depiction of an 18th-century billiards room. Designer Bill Eubanks took the concept and proceeded with it, acquiring 350 yards of 100% cotton fabric from a local custom furniture company. Workers worked for 10 days to bolt and pleat the fabric. 8. He enjoyed monkeying about with his pet chimp. A massive barn was erected on the grounds of Graceland, which ultimately housed a complete stable of horses, but Scatter, Presley's monkey, was the most peculiar creature to wander the estate. According to most stories, the king's pet was a royal annoyance. The simian proclaimed his arrival with an ear-splitting and appeared to enjoy tugging women's skirts down. Scatter's bad conduct somehow endears him to Presley, who dresses him up in fancy outfits. Driving around Memphis with Scatter in the front seat was a great joke. Presley would duck down at traffic lights, creating the impression that the monkey was driving the automobile. Scatter's misbehavior eventually got too much for Presley, and he was put to dwell in a climate-controlled chamber at Graceland. 9. An important shopping list. Presley was famous for his fondness of peanut butter, banana, and bacon sandwiches, but his southern palate needed other pleasures from time to time. Graceland had a long list of items that the king desired to be on hand, at all times, every day. His grocery list, which cost about $500 each week, comprised the following items: 1 bottle of normal Pepsi, 1 orange drink case, at least 6 biscuit cans, sauerkraut in cans, wieners, banana bread, cooked fresh nightly, meatloaf with sauce ingredients, brownies, and ice cream, vanilla and chocolate, coconut shreds, butter cookies, gum, spearmint, double mint, juicy fruit, 3 each. If he had a specific urge while eating, a buzzer connected to the kitchen was attached beneath his seat at the table. 10. Graceland. What's in a name? Elvis Presley, 22, acquired his Graceland home on March 19, 1959 for $102,500, or more than $900,000 in today's money, eager to find a rural hideaway away from frenzied crowds and the pressures of fame. The property already had its well-known moniker. Dr. Thomas Moore and his wife Ruth named the colonial revival-style home after Ruth's aunt, Grace Toof, whose father had previously owned the property used for farming.